How are you, friends? How have you been? Last week we came up with a series that is to deal with files, to see how we correctly handle files. We also checked on how we can how to implement non-blocking architectures, that is using event-driven programming, using asynchronous design. So today I thought of us to pass through forms and to see how we, in a typical situation whereby you have something like a sign up form and you want maybe the user to put a resume or a passport, how do you handle that and how do you come out with that? So this part, which is the second part of our series, you are going to deal with the forms, with the forms and with the forms, with the files, forms are combined with the files, also some form inputs. Then in the next series we are going now to set up a backend server whereby we are going to send that data to the cloud, that data to the server. Then in the other series apart from that, we will now see how we can utilize S3 bucket or Firebase maybe to send the files to the cloud. So enough of that is set. We can maybe begin the journey of today. So for that, I'm going to open my terminal. So I'm going to make a directory called forms. Then after, I'm going to cd to forms. I can maybe, after that, I will just clear everything. Then I open this with VS Code. Now, to make things more simplistic, I'm not going to use any framework. I'm just going to use index.html. So I'm going to have three files here, index.html, and I'm going to have another file, index.css, and I'm going to have another file, index.js. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to instantiate our page by typing exclamation mark, then clicking enter. And with that I can just edit this and say this is forms handling. Let's see forms. Let's just say forms. Then with that I can just go live from. Then with this I can just let's see. Now it's just gone live. Can now come and say one maybe a CSS file there. Maybe I can just say link index, and I can just come here and say script. It will be index.js. Then with that everything is set. So we just need a clear and a quick form. So I'm going to say, I'm going to put in a container diff. Then I'm going to say diff. Then here I'm going to say form dot sign up. I'm going to give it an ID of sign up. And with that I can just remove this action, is useless. Then I can just come down here and say we just need some fields that we are going to work with. So I'm going to use bootstrap classes form group. I can just say form group, and from there I can just say input. Now this is going to give us of type text. Now this one is going to be username, of the name username, of ID username, then placeholder will be enter username, enter the username. Now enough of that, I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to, let me just put p tag saying username like that. Then I can just select this, duplicate it, say this one is email of type email, of name email, of ID email, then the placeholder will be enter the email like that. So I'm just going to copy this, duplicate it, bring it here. Then this one is going to be resume. We need this person to have a resume. This is going to be of type file. Going to be name is supposed to be resume. Then there is no placeholder. It's going to be ID resume. Be accept. What will it be accepting? Accept application PDF. So this one will be your type file, so that you can change here. Now with that I can just duplicate it, bring it here. This is going to be of type passport. Type file, name is going to be passport. Then this I'm going to give it a passport. It's going to be of passport type. Passport, no, not type, passport ID. Then it's going to accept all images. Image, then I'm going to put a star there. So enough of that is it. So maybe I can just format. I'm using a Create Code format. I can look at it here. So if you don't have it, you can maybe install it from the extensions here. So with that I can just format it. Okay. Okay, I can just work with it that way. Now with that one, what I'm going to do, we are going to set up a very quick styling. We have not added submit button, so I'm going to have a button here of type submit, then the value is going to be submit, going to be sign up, that way. Then with that I'm going to maybe can just want maybe the font to change the fonts outfit. And with that you can just pull a font from Google Fonts. Then I just get the font, embed code. Then I'm going to pull this import. Then that I'm just going to come here, open this, display it there. Then I'm going to set up quick styling so that you can go to functionality. And it's going to be margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box. Then I'm going to be font family, outfit, sans serif. That you see everything is changing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the container div. I'm going to give it a width of 100%. I'm going to give it a height of 100 V8. Then with that I can now say display flex, justify content between, center, align item center. With that you just want this one to be there. Now we have already done that. Let's just format this to be okay. Then we have already done that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select the container, then I'm going to select form tag. This I'm going to give it a width width of 96%. I'm going to give it a maximum width of 500 pixels. Then I'm going to give it a box shadow of 0, 0, 5 pixels RGBA, 0.25. Okay. Then I'm going to give it maximum width. Let's see. Let me give it a padding. Let me give the maximum width of 600. Give it a padding of 1 rem. Let's see what's wrong with this. Can just come and give this a class of container wrapper. So this, I'm going to pull it. Now this one is going to be from wrapper. So I'm going to copy this from wrapper from there, then come back here. I can just do from wrapper container from wrapper. Then I give it a width of 100%. Let's see. So with that, you notice these are changed. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to give it a margin of top and bottom. That is 0. I'm going to give it a outer so that it come at the center. Then with that, everything is okay. So I can now come and say container from. Just select the input tags. From this, I'm going to have type. Which type? This is type text. Then with type text, I'm going to give it a height 40 pixels. Not 40. Let me just give it 35. Then border none. Then border is going to be, now border is going to be 1 pixel solid. We need some good color there that looks a little bit grayish. Then I can give it a padding of 5 pixels. Then of course width is 100%. We don't want a confirm. We don't want a confirm. We could have maybe put password, but we don't want confirm. Let me just come and copy this. This email. Let me copy this. I can just copy it, come and duplicate it here down. This is the last one. Then this one will be password. But of course, we will not be confirming the password because we just want to see how we work with the files. So password. So this is going to be of name password. Then this is going to be of email password. Enter the password. Enter the password. That way. Now, what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to select this because we have different types. Then I will just duplicate of type. I don't want to just put input because of this file input here. So I have that. I'm going to change it to password. Then I'm also going to duplicate this and change it to email. That way. So with that, you can now come and say, copy this, come and say .container .form group. I'm going to give it a margin bottom 10 pixels. At least it can be, yes, that's at least it makes more sense. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the form group. Then from the form group, I select the p tag. The p tag, so I give it a color. that looks lightish black. At least that one is making more sense. Then with that, we are done. Maybe I can just work on the button. So it will be container form input. It will be of type submit. Give it a width of 100%. So that is 100%. I'm going to give it a border, none. I'm going to give it a background of something that looks like purple, 29340. Then with that, I can give it a color of white. I can give it a padding of 10 pixels. Let's see. Yeah, that way. Then I'm going to give it cursor pointer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to can I just give it a width of 150 pixels? Then of course margin will be 0 outer, so that you can turn to the center. Outer. Of course I have to give it a display block because it's an inline element, so with that it comes at the center. So what I'm going to do, I just want to add a name here. So I'm going to say h2, we'll call it sign up register. So with the register, I'm going to pull the h2. I'm going to bring it here, container h2 tag. I'm going to give it a text align center. I'm going to give it a border bottom 1 pixel solid. Now I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to give it a color that something that looks like pinkish, that way. Then of course I'm going to give it a margin bottom. I'm going to give it 1 rem. So at least we have something that looks like that. Now with that, you can maybe work with that. We have at least a decent form. So I'm taking time to drink some water. So what we are going to do, I'm going to come up with I'm going now to split this, open an index here. Let me just open the index here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to split this. This I'm just going to open the JavaScript file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to document .get element lem by ID. Which element I'm going to get? I want to get this form ID. So that is this. Then I'm going to say, with that I can now add event listener. The event is submit. Remember this on React we say on submit. Then with that I can just come here, bring this. Now that one will be a callback. It will take a param event e for event. Then I'm going to say e.prevent default. That way. Then I can just alert, see what is happening. Submitted. So if I just come here and refresh to make sure the changes makes effect, I can just submit and you see it has submitted. So with that one set, I'm going now to pull the contents of the form. I'm going to say const, which const username is equals to document dot get element by ID username. I'm going to say const going to be username dot value const email is equals to document dot get element by ID going to be email. So I'm going to say const password const resume is equals to document going to be document dot get element by ID going to be resume. So this resume I'm going to pull it from files of index 0. So the ID is resume. So I'm going to say const passport is equals to the document dot get element by ID passport dot files sorry that. So I'm going to say so we have already selected that. So I can just maybe console.log to see this whether it's truly been selected. Username, email, username, email, resume, passport. Then this passport image, I'm going to say const password. I had forgotten with the password. Document dot get element by ID is going to be password dot value. Then this is going to be password. So if I just open this and maybe open the development tools and I just try to see, so if I put here and just put Rita Chenja email, Peter Dennis, and just come here and select that PDF. Okay, let me just clear everything. So select the passport. I'm going to select one of the image, just select that, and I can just put password, which is just useless text. So suggested current password, I don't know why it has refreshed. Let's see. Let me just come and pull that. The passport, I'm going to pull an image there. So I can just put it here, and I can just submit. So it is refreshing itself. So let's try and see what's happening. So here is the problem. I can just come here and put e.prevent the default. I can just prevent the refreshing. So if I put again and come and select the resume. Let me see, let me put my, okay, that, then come and select the passport. Passport is got to be any image there. I can just put my useless things there, then I can just run. Let me just open the console, then run. Without running, you can see everything here. So there is this file. So everything is working correctly. Now, I want us to do one thing. Let us now validate this. Now, what we are going to do is very simple. What we are going to do is very simple. So I'm going to come up with a p tag there, and I'm going to have it call it error. Fill all fields. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this error, come and paste it here. So I'm just going to have an error there, container dot let's just move in an orderly way. Container dot error. So this I'm going to have it of color. So with that I'm going to come here and put okay, everything is okay. So I can just, so it's here, so I can say text align center. So it has to be there, then it has to have a margin bottom, at least 0.5 rem at that point. Then I can give it a font weight maybe of something like 600. That way it's making sense. So I can just come index, I can just come and remove this from that point, or I can just return it and just p error fill all fields or fields. So with that is set, we can now get back to our index.js. So what we are going to do, you want first of all to make sure that all fields have been filled. So I'm going to say, if not, we are going to test if not username or not email or not resume or not passport, is this the correct way, or not passport, let's see, or not password, if any of this is empty, we are going to say, let me just come and remove that. Then I will say, I can now come here and say document const error comment.query selector. Then I'm going just to put error there. So I'm going to say error dot text content fill all fields. So I can now come here and return, but of course this will be, because I'll still be using we still need to display some green text when this document is sent. I will say error dot style dot color is equals to hash 44004F. that way. So if I come and say just refresh and try to run, if not username, what's happening? It's uncode properties of null style. Let's see. Error dot style. Let's see red. Oh, supposed to be. It's okay. It's supposed to be a dot there because you are selecting with a class. So if I run, if I can just, let me just pull this and I just return to index.css. Just come and select this. Let me see, come and paste it here. So if I just run, and you see some of the fields are empty, so it will just say fill all fields. Now with that we have done a little bit of validation. So I can come here and say, if now that one is okay, can now come here and say, if username is less dot length, let's do some a little bit validation, is less than 3, just copy that, come and duplicate, paste it here. So it will be invalid username. So I can now come and select password. Have we email? Now email is going to be validated by default by the browser. Email, let's see, come and see email. Let's see, auto complete, auto capitalize. Let's see. Now, email is going to be validated by the browser, so we don't have to validate the email. So I can just come and select this and paste it. Now I can now say, remember, if it has reached here, it simply means the password and the resume are okay. So what I'm going to say is, we want to check whether the passport is an image. If so, I'm going to have some set of image PNG, image not then JPEG, image JPG, image web. Does not includes passport dot type. I'll just copy this, come and duplicate it here. This simply means this, it is not an image at all. So I can just come here and say, because this image has a property and has a property of type. So I'm going to say invalid passport. A valid passport. So I'm going to say else invalid passport. Now, if this passport is valid, we have also to check whether it is if each size is okay. So I'm going to say if passport dot size is greater than 2 times 1024 times 1024, we are going to say, I'm going to paste that here. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Say, so this is going to be passport too large. Okay, so that one is okay. Now we can now come here and check the resume, whether the resume is okay. So I'm just going to come and say if resume dot, let's say resume has to be maybe of, if it's large, 5 MB. So it's going to be if resume dot size is greater than 1025 times 1024 times 1024. Then I'm just going to say, copy this. I'm just going to copy this, paste it here. And I'll say, resume too large. Too large like that. So I can just remove this because it's a lot of redundancy here. There's a lot of redundancy there. So I can just remove that, this color. You don't have to keep on. I can just remove this color, that line from there. It's bringing a lot of redundancy. So I can just pull it away from there. Then you can just sell it by the CSS. It's there already. You can just, I don't know why I had placed it there. So with that one, everything is okay. So I can maybe come and check the password. If password dot length is less than 6, I'm going to say going to be password 2 week. Password 2 week. Then with that we can maybe test what we have done. So I can just refresh. Let's first put the correct credentials. Resume. Let me just select any ID. Then can come and select passport. I'm going to select passport. It's going to be any image. Let's see whether there is an error. Fill all fields. Is this error? Let's see. Oh, resume. Let's see. I had not selected the resume. So resume, I select that. And just refresh, then run this. Come and select this resume. Come and select the image. Come and put some few stuff. Let's see. You see there is no error. It simply means we are working correctly. So if I just come and remove this, put it 3, I run, password 2 week. Now for this passport, let me see whether I can get a very huge image. Let me try that. Let me see if I can get a great image. But these images are two. They are the same size. Let me try it. Something like this. Select that. But I have to refresh again but generally it's very okay. That's how it's supposed to be. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to console. I'm going now to have something called I'm going to create FormData. Const FormData is equals to new FormData. That way. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say FormData. If everything is okay, that is, it has not returned. I'm going to say append. It's going to be username. Username, I'm going to put something like let me just reply to someone's just a little bit. Username is going to be username. So FormData.append FormData.append email. I was trying to reply to someone's text here. So it's going to be, this email is going to be email. I'm going now to FormData.append FormData.append append. What are we going to append? What are we going to append? Just a minute. From that, I'm going to append this passport. Passport, and it's going to be passport, obvious. So I'm going to say from data, I'm going to resume. I'm going to append also resume. Append resume. I'm going to say resume. So enough of this. I'm going to say we want now to come here and see. We want now to maybe see what is the content of this form data. So it's for let key value, because what happens is this form data, it is stored in terms of key and value. Key value. So this one is key, this one is value. That's why this one can be repeated severally. This username, email, password, resume can be repeated. It is stored in form of a document, but this one cannot be repeated. So what happens is that we work with this FormData. It's something that we have been provided. It's an API that we have been provided with by JavaScript to make our work much easier. So we work with this FormData. So we append this way so that we can send it to the server. But today we just wanted to see how we deal with it. So we want to see the contents of this passport and this resume. So of key of FormData dot-entries. Then with that I'm going to say console.log. I want to get a key. From that key I'm going to say going to get the value of that key. Then with that everything is okay. So you can just come here and see what this will give us. So I just open the console again. I type the username. Let me just clear that. Let me just console this, resume. Let me get some PDF from there. I can get now the passport. Can put an image. Then I can just put some dummy password there, so I can execute now. The first username, if I just the first username is Rita Changer. That is email, HTML. Why is the image like email like this? Let's see. Email. Why is the email like this? So there is the passport. Let's first see this. There is the passport. There is the size. There is the type. So this one is JPEG. So there is a resume. Let's see. Type is application PDF. So if I come now here and we come and see, so this resume we are just supposed to check the type. Let's see. Resume.type is not equal. We don't have to check the size of the resume. It's not equal to application PDF. So I can just come here and say invalid resume, valid resume. So with that everything is okay. So I don't know why the email is saying that. Oh, the email is supposed to be .value like that. So if we just remove that, then I can just put there something like useless thing. So I have to fill everywhere. So I can just come here and put the resume. Put that, select the passport. It will be that image, and I can just put some dummy text there. Then I want, of course, to refresh this, return to console. Then I can just send. You see, everything is okay. So the email is that this is the file. Now in the next tutorial we'll be sending this to the server. So what I'm going to do is very simple. After this and everything is okay, we do this. I come and I select, I get the error, say error. Come and say error dot style dot color. Want to return it to green, and we're going to say error dot text content going to be form successfully submitted. So if I just come here, let me refresh that, just exit that, then can just pull some document, some passport. Let me see, come and select that, and I just return there, and I can just put some dummy password there, and I execute. So the form successfully submitted. So from the next session we are simply going to set up an express server. Then I'm going to use Malta to send this content to the server and store it. But now in the next series, we are going now to store it in a folder at our code base. But now coming tutorials from that, I will show you how to set up S3 bucket. Then we will just be storing in the S3 bucket. So enough of that. You can maybe subscribe the channel for more content like this and to help me grow. So you can have a nice day, and we meet tomorrow from that. So generally what I'll be doing is there are things I've not yet done to the channel. I have not yet registered it so that I can be authorized to put external links on the description. But you can go to my profile. You'll find the link to my GitHub, the link to my LinkedIn, the link to my portfolio. Then from there you can just be communicating. If you just want anything to do with me, maybe want us to work in one way or the other, you can just communicate from that place. So enough of that is said. Enjoy your day and have a nice time. Let's meet next time. Thank you.